Hey people of VC, it's Cloudy, and I'm going to show you an eBay auction I won a short time ago now. It was a bundle of 6 records, and only one of which I actually wanted. So I was searching for a particular album, and I found it, and it was, say, part of a bundle. There were 6 other ones with it, and I wasn't aware of most of those other albums, but the um, the minimum bid was £16. No one had bid on it yet. So I did a bit of research, looked at what they were, and thought it was worth putting a cheeky minimum bid on and seeing how it goes, which I subsequently won. And of course I did, because I'm here to show you them right now. So the album that I wanted was Hellstar, a Distant Thunder. This is their third album. The first one on Metal Blade, although this is a Roadrunner Dutch European edition. And Hellstar is a band I'm fairly new to. I think I must have picked it up off one of you guys' video showing one of the other albums, and I happened to hear this album or tracks from it on YouTube, and it went straight on my want list. Now this generally goes, I mean, the condition of the album is really good. The cover is probably VG at best, and in fact the covers on the 5 other albums that came in the bundle are not great, but all the vinyl is in pretty good condition. So I got them for £16, and as I go through and show each of the other albums that I got with it, I'll kind of tell you the guide price on Discogs, what they've sold for, and we can see if I made a little bit of a profit or a good deal at the end of it. But at the moment, in this current condition, I think you'd probably spend £11 on it on Discogs, certainly in the UK. So I thought £16 was good, and the rest of the albums, as long as they made it up to £5 worth of value, then I'm not going to be losing any money on it. Hellstar, if you're not familiar with them, certainly this album is very much, if Iron Maiden and Halloween had a baby, they would call it Hellstar, and they would play the music on A Distant Thunder. It's a really, really good album. So sort of like a US power metal. There we go. There's the band and the thank yous and the lyrics. There's what, 8 songs on here, 9 songs on here. There's one instrumental, The Whore of Babylon, which, although can be a bit iffy with instrumentals, I tend to not find them that memorable. This one is also in that boat, but I don't remember thinking when I was listening to it, I wish this would end. So it's a passable instrumental, and the final track is a cover. You know my view on covers, often find them hit and miss. This is a cover of He's a Woman, She's a Man by the Scorpions, and they do a pretty good job of it. So it's not one I would skip. In fact, they've rather than print the lyrics to that, they just say dedicated to bands who are all glam and no jam, all hair and no face, image and no substance. So it's a band with big hair. So yeah, really stoked to finally get a copy of this. It's on Metal Blade Records, and I'm now on the lookout for some more Hellstar. So hopefully I can pick that up soon. So as I say, that was the one of the bundle I wanted. I wasn't too fussed about the rest of the stuff, but there were a few interesting items in there which certainly caught my eye. Now I'm sticking this in the 80s bracket, this video. It'll go on that playlist of 80s pickups. But the next one is actually from 1991. But it's all kind of my 80s collection. When I talk about my 80s collection, I tend to, anything from maybe 78 to 1991 fits in there. But this is an album I think I would have bought blind, as I never heard of them, just for the name of the band. And that is Tortoids Corpse, and their album World's Got a Problem. They're categorized online as thrash metal, but they're not really a thrash band. In fact, they've got a mix of styles. There's nothing particularly original here. They're a Welsh band, actually. They're from Swansea, which, me being from Cardiff, means they're mortal enemies So, you know, I probably shouldn't like it, but I do. It's their debut album, but mind you, they only released this and then another one 5 years later, from what I've read. But as I say, it's a real mix of styles. You've got, and it changes from track to track. One of the tracks sounds a lot like Nuclear Assault, even down to sort of the vocal style, John Corley's vocal style. There's Motorhead on here. There's some hints of groove metal chucked in. There's some Stormtroopers of Death, and there's some early first album era suicidal tendencies as well. So it's a real mix match of styles. Lyrically, they are, you know, across the board, but stereotypical thrash themes, religion, nuclear war, death, shagging, and generally people going insane. And some of the lyrics wouldn't be out of place on a punk album. There's pictures of the band. Tony Calvert, Tim Hamill, Steve Hamill, and Ivan Ho on drums. So I'm guessing brothers. It's produced by Tim Hamill, and just a run up of the songs, I say that it's all pretty strange. It's pretty typical fare. So you've got Atomic Attack, which is about nuclear war. Visions of Lust, it's about shagging. In God's Name, religion. World's Got a Problem, politics. Psycho Taff, that's quite interesting actually, because Taff or Taffy is it's kind of a name that English people give Welsh people. There's a river that runs through Cardiff called the River Taff, and Welsh people in England are often known as Taffies. And Psycho Taff is a song about having had a one-night stand with a Welsh girl who has since turned a bit psychotic because she wants more from him and he's not interested. Looney Tune is about going insane and getting institutionalized. That's the lyrics here. Into work, what a jerk. I don't want to be a clerk. Don't give a toss, kill the boss with a length of dental floss. I mean, that's sheer poetry. Efnician, again, insanity, this time leading to murder. I fell in love, WMS, is I fell in love with my sister. And look up the lyrics for that. They've got to be read to be believed. It's crazy stuff. Under the Blade, insanity leading to familicide, killing your own family. And the Legacy is about death and the Grim Reaper. So it's great fun. I would say I would have bought this just for the band name and the cover alone. But the lyrics are just so mental. It's brilliant. Didn't come with an inner sleeve of just a generic inner sleeve, but it did come with a little merch sheet. I would love to sport a Tortoids Corpse t-shirt now. I would wear that with pride. Brilliant stuff. And this is on the Tombstone Records. As I say, this is 1991. Didn't amount to much, but it's a great record to have in the collection. Good talking point. Next up, an album I've actually seen quite a lot recently, at least 2 or 3 times in recent weeks. Well, that's Wrathchild UK. The Biz Sucks and We Don't Care. Oh, look at those lovely boys. Now, before I'd heard any Wrathchild, I'd kind of steered away. I'd read things about them being, you know, awful glam metal. In fact, each of the 6 albums, or 5 of the 6 albums, were all play graded in the eBay auction article. This one was listed as ungraded, and I quote, because I'm not fucking playing that on my system. So with a mild trepidation, I thought I would give it a spin and a play, and I was actually mildly surprised. If you ever wondered what the love child of a few love childs here, but Iron Maiden and Halloween before, but if the love child of punk and hair sleaze metal had a baby, again, lots of babies going on this episode, well, it would probably sound a bit like this. They have unmistakably the hair metal look. but there are clear Ramones and Sex Pistols influences in the music. I mean, this guy, I've never seen a Ramones t-shirt like that. I mean, Johnny Ramone would be turning in his grave if he saw that little crop top, a Ramones crop top on a bloke. But then there you go. They have the ooh harmonies on Millionaire, straight out of the Ramones. Na Na Nuclear Rocket is very, very catchy, but again, it's another glammed up number from the Ramones playbook. Unlike the thrashiness of Tortoids Corpse, there's nothing political, religious, or incestual about this album at all. But it's a lot of fun. Music isn't really fun these days, I don't think. I would have hated this back in the day, but it's okay to have fun. I actually really, really like this. Take it with a pinch of salt. Enjoy it for what it is. It's a fun album. I've actually since picked up their other two 80s albums, which I'll show on Upcoming Records. It's on the FM Revolver label, and it came complete as well, which is pretty cool. So the lyric sheet and the band with some ladies, I think, and the thank yous as well. Sorry, I'm reading instead of telling you guys. Yeah, some interesting. So actually, what I'm looking for is something written on here that's written on one of their other albums. So sorry about that. And a nice little FM Revolver record collection catalogue, if you like. I've actually got a few of those. Some Magnum, Diamond Head. The Maclads were a fun band I remember from my teenage years. And that's the other Wrathchild album I picked up recently, Stack Attack. So Wrathchild, so in that condition, which is probably VG Plus cover and record, like the Tortoise Corpse before, on Discogs, you could probably pick that up for about $5 each. So first three albums, I reckon, would have cost me sort of £21. So I'm already $5 up on my bidding. Next up was Twisted Sister, Love Is for Suckers. Believe this was meant to be a Dee Snider solo album, but the record company refused it, I believe, as the story goes, and made them release it as Twisted Sister. I'm a bit of a newbie still when it comes to Twisted Sister. I absolutely love the earlier stuff, but while this is not bad, it just fades into the background, and I kind of forgot it was. I found I was easily distracted in doing other stuff, and then would realise that the record had finished, and I hadn't really been paying much attention. It was their last album before Dee Snider left the band. There we go, and this also came with a merch sheet. This is for Come Out and Play video for $19.98. I wonder if this is a US pressing. It is, it's a US pressing. All Atlantic. Gone slightly out of sync. I should have shown that with the Wrathchild album as well. Official merchandise, the Biz Sucks tour t-shirts, and you could get a tour t-shirt for $5.99 plus £1 postage and packing. Not bad. But I wouldn't wear a Wrathchild UK t-shirt. Tortoids Corpse, I would wear. Wrathchild UK, no. The fourth album of the bundle. This is the one I thought was going to be the clunker, one that I would probably try and figure out how to get rid of. But although it's not worth much, worth probably about £3 in this condition, and that's Cheetah, Rock and Roll Women. This is from 1981. It's a European pressing on Epic. So Cheetah is basically an Australian rock band. They're not even hard rock. The Hammond sisters, Lindsay and Chrissy, are the main vocalists. Share the vocals between them. They've got that classic late 70s rock, women in rock look. It's actually not bad. It's upbeat, it's catchy. I was mildly surprised by it. It's not something I've listened to a lot, but I dig into it occasionally. It's a live shot. At the back, a little bit bluesy rock in some cases, but it doesn't really get the pulse racing too much. And it's on Epic. I say that was 1981. And the last one of the bundle, again in this condition, it's probably worth about £3. Not a rare album by any means, and one that is actually a duplicate. I have this one already. That's Saxon Eagle Has Landed. This is the UK pressing with the embossed, you can't really see it, embossed logo and name and album. Cover's a little bit worn. It's still got the original hype sticker on. The sticker is removable, it says, although I've not tried. And it's their live album from 1982. Just a reminder, home taping, killing music. You want to stop that, guys. It's a really good album, but as I say, I've got this one before. It's fairly common, and in this condition, it's not really worth much. But again, probably £3. So all in all, 6 records. I was only really wanting one, but I'm happy with quite a few of the others. £16 I picked them up for, and I reckon it's probably worth about £30 all in all, so not too bad a deal. I don't often look at bundles. They tend to be quite expensive, but I was lucky enough that I was the only one that bid on this one. Anyway, let me know what you think. If you know any of these others, or you disagree with my interpretation of them. Maybe you're a big Tortoids Corpse fan. Maybe we can get together and form a fan club of our own. Thanks for watching. Catch you again soon.